Seat Senate Seat 5.
I'm Piper. I'm CFC Senate Seat 6. I use she, her pronouns, and I work with Daily Emerald and Legal Studies.
I'm Sam. I use he, him pronouns, Senate Seat 8, DFC.
Hey guys, my name is Bella. I use she, her pronouns. I'm DFC Senate Seat 9, as well as the DFC chair. And then the department's finance committee has several departments: the Women's Center, duck rides, zero waste, Oregon athletic bands, try and get people more confidence.
Hi everyone, I'm Olivia Heffernan. I use she, her pronouns. I am the department's finance 10. I work most closely with the Multicultural Center, the Oregon LGBT Education Support Services.
Hi everybody, my name is Yvette Hondiafet. So I use she, her pronouns, and speak and call the science assistant for me, legal science, mostly other science.
Hi, my name is Zoe Jenkins Cox. I use she, her pronouns. I'm Senate Seat 12. I represent natural science.
Hello, my name is Tyler. I use they, her pronouns. I'm Senate Seat 13. Some of the majors that I look over include computer science, neuroscience, sociology, and theater arts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cole Stevenson. I use he, him pronouns. I am the academic committee chair, and I represent the School of Psychology.
Hi everyone, my name is Ami Purdue. I'm academic Seat 16, representing the School of Music and Dance at College of Design.
Hi, I'm Dre. I use they, them pronouns. I hold Senate Seat 17. I represent the Colleges of Education, Multidisciplinary Sciences.
My name is Robin. I use he, him pronouns. I'm Senate Seat 18, and I represent the School of Journalism and Communication.
Hi everyone, my name is Vuk. I'm Senate Seat 19. I represent the School of Business.
It's Bridget. I use she, her pronouns. I'm Senate Seat 21, and I represent first-year students and undecided major.
Hi everyone, I'm Kayla. I use she, her pronouns. I'm academic Seat 22, and I represent basically all of grad.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm just here taking notes.
Hi, my name is Erin Lincoln. I use she, her pronouns. I am Senate Seat 20 and the deputy speaker.
My name is Quadrian McGill. I use he, him pronouns. I'm Senate Seat 7, the Contracts Finance Committee. I work with Cascadia Mobility, and I am the Senate Speaker.
I'm Max Jensen, he, him pronouns, and I'm the ASUO Vice President.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Do we have a senator to read land acknowledgement? Senator O'Neill.
The state of Oregon is located on Calabria, that is traditional indigenous homeland of the Calabria people. Following treaties between 1851 and 1855, Calabria people were dispossessed of their indigenous homeland by the United States government and forcibly removed to the Coast Reservation in Western Oregon. Today, Calabria descendants are primarily citizens of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of Latin. And they continue to make important contributions to their communities, to the UO, to the lands now known as Oregon and the world. In following the Indigenous Protocol of acknowledging the original people of the land we occupy, we also extend our respects to the 9 federally recognized Indigenous nations of Oregon: the Burns Paiute Tribe, the Confederated Tribes of the Coos, the Lower Umpqua and Siuslaw Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs, the Coquille Indian Tribes, the Cow Creek Band Umpqua Tribe of Indians, and the Clement Tribes. We express our respect to the many more tribes who have ancestral connections to this territory, including the Chinook Indian Nation and the Fort McDermott Pines and Shoshone tribe, as well as to all other displaced Indigenous peoples called Oregon home.
Thank you, Senator O'Neill. And I'll read the ASUO mission statement. The purpose of ASUO is to provide for the social, cultural, educational, physical development of its members, UO students, and for the advancement of their individual and collective interests, both within and without the university. Then next, we'll move to the approval of the agenda. Senator Peters.
Move the agenda. Seconded, Bishop.
Motion made by Peter, seconded by Fisher. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay, and the agenda is approved. Moving into announcements, do we have any senators who wish to make an announcement? Senator Fisher.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that Braden and I will be meeting next Wednesday at 2 in the suite to start working on the working group resolution for the higher ed thing. So if anyone's interested in that, we'll be meeting. And then also if you'd like to co-sponsor, please let me know. Thanks, Amy.
Senator Neal.
Yeah, this hasn't been announced yet, but I'm gonna post the graphic soon. CARE is on Monday, is going to have a meeting, next Monday, a meeting, and since May Day is passing, it's Friday, our meeting's gonna be about I guess like labor of ethnic and racial minorities in the United States. And there's gonna be lots of interesting stuff covering a lot of ethnic minorities. And then on top of that, afterwards, we're going to work on making posters for the rally that's going to happen. Pretty sure it's the one for the MCC is next week. So y'all should come on Monday, 5 to 6 in the MCC.
Senator Peters.
All right, get excited. Luau is on Saturday. I know that every single one of you has tickets already, but if for some reason you forgot, there's still a very few amount available. They're running out. They're getting close to running out. So make sure to get your tickets. And if you don't get a ticket for food, there's still going to be tickets just to watch the show, which has been great. And the students have been working on it since December, practicing. Great. And then next weekend, it's going to be the Mother's Day powwow, Friday and Saturday in McGregor Park. And then there's going to be a salmon bake on Sunday at the Many Nations Long House. I'd love to see all of you at Luau and then all of you at powwow.
Senator Stevenson.
Black Men of Achievement and Black Women of Achievement are hosting the Women of Color Appreciation Gala, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after, May 9th, in the Cedar Spruce Room from 5 to 7. Thank you. I yield.
And Senator Madariaga.
Hey guys, last week, or maybe it was the week before, but I mentioned that Denim Day was today, and I'm seeing a lot of jeans. I don't know if you'll remember it or you just wear jeans, but either way, it totally worked. So I just want to give a very short, what is Denim Day? And it's basically to support Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And it started as a movement in Italy in the 1990s. There was a case of an 18-year-old girl being raped, and the Italian parliament were very upset with the he was sentenced to jail, the offender, and he appealed the conviction, and the Italian Supreme Court overturned the conviction, and the women in the parliament launched a protest and wore jeans on the steps of the Supreme Court. So that's where it started. So just a little bit of history. And now we also recognize it, and it's in solidarity. So everyone who's wearing denim, shout out. Thank you guys.
Thank you, senators. Does anybody from the gallery wish to make an announcement? Yeah, please come on. And please introduce yourself too.
Hello, Associate Justice on the Constitution Court. If you guys don't know, we are a little bit unintegrated with the other branches. That has been a cause of strife between us, the executive and the legislative branch. And on behalf of them, I apologize. And so I have taken it upon myself to update the Constitution Court rules for the first time in 11 years, which is crazy. I was in high school at that point, which old, really old. Okay, so I wanted to run through it with you guys really quick. I know you guys are short on time, so I'll just probably be super quick about it. So we updated some language to match new constitutional article numbers because Section 11 is no longer Section 10, and see that because again, 11 years ago. Also put in some gender neutral language in there because we are woke and because saying he or she so many times just adds a ton of page length that no one wants. So Those are small things. Big things, accessibility. We are going to strive to have petition templates posted on a much more accessible public website because they are very difficult for people to look for, things like grievances and stuff like that. Also looking into like link trees that we could provide to ASUO. The exec board has been helping me out with that, Jay, especially. And then we added, a listserv for all ASUO members, for people to know when we make decisions, when we're in the process of making decisions, so people could file briefs in support of a party or briefs against a party or a decision or whatnot. Then utilizing controlling legal precedent on the state and federal levels so that people don't make shit up when they're, asked about legislation. Okay, update complaint grievance processes and the rules reflecting current methods. Sorry, I have to go through all of these. So, and then allow
very short agendas. Please take your time.
Cool. And then we're gonna allow the Chief Justice to delegate authority to an Associate Justice for non-constitutional matters, aka what I'm doing right now. I'm talking about the Chief Justice. Also, super big thing, integration. We are going to strive for a transparent, active relationship with other ASUO branches, as I mentioned. We are still going to adhere to the neutrality and impartial decision making imposed on us in the Constitution because rules if we didn't, against, justice. So, office hours requirements, we are going to be self-imposing those on ourselves at least once during each academic quarter or semester, depending on the justice's status as a student. We're gonna have some rules outlined for that though. So just like we'll answer general questions about the US Constitution, legal questions you guys have, not giving you legal advice because that's illegal and lose any access to being admitted to a bar. So we won't do that. And then just general questions about the ASUO Constitution. It can't be opinionated though. We are not going to be opinionated about it. We will just be very neutral about it. And we'll also just be there, and if you want to hang out and have fun, I won't be because I graduate in like 2 weeks. So like I won't be there, but my other people. Also the exec board, when I went to talk to them on Monday, so I see a few familiar faces in here. When we talked about it, they wanted the Concord to have office hours specifically only in the ASUO office. I guess prior to that, we had been doing it in the law school, which, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm sure most of you don't even know where the law school is, which is like totally fine. I don't know where anything on this goddamn campus is either, so totally get it. So it might not be feasible sometimes, but we will try our best to, I won't be here, but I will make them try their best once I am gone. And then, the intention behind that is to show face and understand the inner workings of the executive and legislative branches on a more personal level, rather than, just reading through your guys' rules and procedures and then just making like a, super like dumb decision or whatever. That's going to allow for easier decision making and ruling on ballot measures. And we have worked together before on talking for ballot measures and stuff. So I basically want that to be a common thing. If we are in the process of like making ballots or writing those out, and you're not sure if something is like written correctly or if it's the wrong format, we want you guys to feel free to come to us. We'll totally like help you out. We're not gonna rule on the merits of it or anything, but we'll let you write it, even if it's like completely unconstitutional. It's up to you guys. Well, it's up to us to say it's unconstitutional, but if you guys want to write what anyhow. Allowing participation in ASUO events. It's not necessarily disallowed, but our advisor kind of says, oh, we don't want you doing that because it's not in your rules. So I was like, okay, well, then I put it in our rules. So we're going to allow participation for the Concord justices to be a part of ASUO events like street fair and whatnot. I was a part of street fair in fall term. It had nothing to do with me because I'm a grad student and those clubs really apply to me, but you know, it was still fun. And I got to meet a few of the students and tell them about Concord because nobody knows about Concord anywhere. I was talking to someone today being like, oh, I have to go to the Senate to talk about Concord stuff. They're like, what's Concord? Okay, cool. Well, we are not doing our jobs very well. And also another thing, that's because what's crazy about that is like, we're like supposed to be helping people deal with like grievances and stuff like that. And so people are having grievances without realizing that there's this avenue they can take to get things figured out. And like, without us being like exposed and out there to people, especially at like ASUO events and whatnot, you know, what's the point? What's the point of Concord? You know? Yeah. You guys can use this as a resource. Not us, not me, but the other ones. Whoever gets put on this year. Yeah. Any questions? I do want like suggestions if you guys have anything. I got a lot of suggestions from the exam. Just be happy to, or if you don't want to do it, just email me. I'm on the team.
Thank you so much, Justice Cook. I appreciate you taking the time to make reforms. It's definitely appreciated and needed. I have really enjoyed the time that we've gotten to work together on ballot measures and stuff like that. A lot about how the constitutional rulings of our court work. And I think those are important things for everyone to know. And the grievance process, I agree, needs to be much more transparent because I've had to direct a lot of people in that direction. They should definitely know about that. So thank you. I wanted to open it up to questions if anybody has questions. One question I saw in the chat is this document that you made available anywhere?
Yeah, so I wanted to like propose it to both of the branches before, you know, giving it to you guys. I completely updated it and stuff, and I plan on sending it in to the Teams chat so everyone can look at it before I officially like give it to Becky and be like, we updated it because we can do whatever we want with our rules. We don't really have to listen to anyone, but I just wanted to like, I didn't want to just like update it without telling anyone about it. I mean, that defeats the purpose of me updating it for this specific reason. So yeah, I can send that to you. Really, in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Was there any questions for Justice Cook? Well, thank you so much.
Sorry it took so long. It's literally like 2 days before my term ends, but you know, I did it.
So our Senate Rules Committee is about to do the same for the last minutes. Yeah, thank you. And Director Kowalski.
Hey everyone, my name is Mrs. Kowalski, also by Cash. I'm the Director of Student Engagement at ASUO, and I'm here to remind you guys that Street Fair is next week, which is very exciting. It's been the ASUO does in the year. Obviously, as you know, last year's Street Fair was canceled. So this is really exciting to get to bring it back. We're doing a lot of exciting things. But to make the Street Fair run, we need volunteers. And as of right now, I think there are only like 4 or 5 senators that are signed up to volunteer. So I wanted, if it was okay to just take like 3 minutes for everybody to go into the Teams chat. All ASUO chat, the most recent net link is still the one that I sent yesterday about signing up. And then also another important thing is that we have the mandatory volunteer training tomorrow from 6 to 7:30. It'll probably end a little bit earlier than that, but 6 to 7 at least. It's where you'll get your shirt, and then also there'll be key things. So that's something if you guys want to take the 3 minutes to fill it out. I also have it on my phone so I can see how much watching.
And I sent out a reminder yesterday saying that anybody who hasn't signed up, please sign up. Take the time to do it right now. We definitely had a poor showing at Fall Street Fair, the legislative branch, so I'd like to see more people out there volunteering. This is the biggest event that we do as ASUO. It's a great opportunity to connect with students, talk about what we do all year, what we've done all year. So I'll give you all 3 minutes, but feel free to keep.
Yeah.
If we cannot make the training, one, there's shirts in the office, and two,
Yes, there will be shirts in the office, or there will be shirts at the like check-in table whenever you get there. And then the other part is I will like just Teams me separately if you can't make it tomorrow, and then I will send you the slides after the meeting. Yes. Also, I think we literally have like only half of the time slots that we need filled right now. So if you also want to like get your friend, there are always like 2 slots for each different task. So if you want to like tell your friend, hey, do you want to come volunteer with me for a couple hours? And the last thing I'll say is that this counts for office hours for next week. So theoretically, your 5 office hours are going to be at the street fair. So you're signing up for at least 5 hours at the fair. And if you're able to do like a little more, but please do not do over 10 because then you burn yourself out as somebody who is going to be there for like 20 to 30 hours. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
I'll give you all another minute to Senator Stevenson.
Excuse me, for the people that don't know, where is going to be the training?
Yeah, it's Lillis 111.
Thank you very much. I yield.
Did you have something, Senator Purdue?
No, it was that you.
Do we have any other announcements from the gallery? Do we have anybody who wishes to speak from a public forum? Do you have an announcement? All right, we will move into financial business then. Currently surplus sits at $162,471. Unallocated reserve sits at $11,973. And we'll go into our transfers to begin, starting with Black Men of Achievement. And Senator Stevenson will present any transfer.
Hello, my name is Phil Stevenson. I'm the treasurer of Black Men of Achievement. For those of you that haven't looked in the teams, please do so. Met with Softs yesterday. Shout out Softs, shout out Zach. And we were informed that we actually only need to do a transfer request if we're transferring something from admin to programming. And that is exactly what we're doing. The amount is $250. That is the amount that we're transferring. It is not that long transfer. If there are any questions.
250 to what line item?
From admin to event expenses.
Senator Peters.
That's just a general admin line. Right. I can just make the transfer. I just need to. What's line item you transferring to again?
From admin to event expenses.
I move to transfer funds within the group Black Men of Achievement, OS number OS 281I, from admin to existing line item events
expenses.
Oh yeah, and the amount of $250. Second.
Motion made by O'Neill, seconded by Peters. Questions? All right, we'll go to vote by acclamation. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. And the transfer's been approved. Thank you, Senator Stevenson. We will move into our surplus request and we will start with On the Rocks. Thank you so much for being here. Senator Purdue, did you want to go after? Okay. Thank you. And please introduce yourself and talk about your request.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Gordon. I'm the treasurer for On the Rocks. We're the all-male identifying a cappella group here at the University of Oregon. And we are requesting $900 from surplus to cover our spring showcase in the Dark. In the Dark is an event that our group has been putting on for at least the past 15 years. It is at the EMU Amphitheater, Friday of Dead Week at midnight, so technically it would be Saturday morning. This event is open to the student body. We often get a couple hundred students that attend, and we just sing through our entire repertoire. The $900 is used to cover audio, labor, and lighting specifically. And traditionally this would get covered through our budget, but we are a newly affiliated group. And so we completed our first budget process this last fall. And so going forward, this will get covered. But again, unfortunately for this year, we just don't have the funds out of pocket to cover this expense. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sounds like a really cool event and that's great turnout, 200 people, especially for the arts. Thank you. We'll start questioning with Senator Perdue.
Hey, I don't have any questions. I just think this is a really cool event and I support a lot of like music performances involving students. So yeah, I'd like to make the motion. I move to authorize spending from surplus to group on the rocks OS number OS 116 to existing line item in the dark in the amount of $900. Second.
Motion made by Perdue, seconded by Fisher. Moving forward in deliberations, Senator Arriaga.
I yield.
Senator Hopperday.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I saw this on accident last year. I was actually like walking home really drunk and I was like, wow, what's happening? This is so cool. And I stayed for like a really long time and it was awesome. And you guys are like really good. Yeah, I used to do acapella in high school. So I was like, oh, this is so fun. So I'm excited to actually go to it on purpose this time. I yield.
All right, that concludes deliberation. We'll move to consider thousands moving a vote by acclamation. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. And the motion is approved. Congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. And just as it's your first time, it usually takes about like 3 days or so for the fact to fully transfer over. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Cybersecurity Club at the University of Oregon. Welcome.
Hello there. Hi, my name is Adriana Walls. I am the treasurer for UO Cybersecurity Club. I'm here to request a total of $265. Specifically, we're asking for a creation of a new line item called events. This will be in our programming. And then for that line item, we request $200. And then we also want $65 to go to our existing line item called prizes. The events line item, right now we don't have a flexible category to cover small essential expenses such as hands-on materials for workshops, basic equipment like lockpicking tools, and we've even had some requests for snacks at our meetings. And then for the price line item, we want to increase this for graduation cords. We would like to honor our seniors who have dedicated their time and leadership to this community. And yes, I will take any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the breakdown. It's very clear. We'll start with Senator Arriaga.
Hello, I'm just gonna go ahead and make the motion, so we have it. I move to authorize spending from surplus to group cybersecurity club at UO OS number OS 235I. In the amount of 200 to new line item events, and in the amount of 65 to existing line item prizes for a total of $265.
Motion made by Arriaga, seconded by Fisher. Did we have any more questions for you, Cybersecurity Club? All right, we'll go to vote. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. And the motion is approved. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And next up, we have Oregon Quant.
I just requested access to your presentation.
Okay.
Because I'm nervous.
I'm on meeting or long when you're done. It's my first time being here.
Oh.
You were joined by.
It's, to be fair, it does usually take a lot longer. I swear. Whoever I hear start.
She's been second. She gave up.
Just the voice I hear. So like.
I get no. What is your?
Oh yeah, second.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But if it's a question, I'm gonna.
Remember we talked to Quinn.
I'm
Sorry, this
Well, that fix it.
means.
I'm gonna say something.
I'm missing it for a second.
So.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't say something lost Charles, we're talking about like it's so crazy.
Are you able to just like give access like publicly or like to anyone that has the link?
Here. Just. Maybe my should be changed. Right now. Sorry.
No, wait. Yes, we're good.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Kelly. I'm the Vice President of Finance for the Oregon Quad Group. And today we're here to request surplus for funding of our first ever end of year banquet that will feature research presentations from our analysts. So now moving into things. So who are we? Well, we are the UO's only student-run organization that focuses primarily on finance. Our mission is to create an environment where like-minded students interested in quantitative finance can conduct meaningful research and explore their passions overall. We are not a brand new club, but we've been around for 2 years and published 10 research papers over that time and have 27 members currently from diverse backgrounds. So in terms of our impact, we provide three main things. Number one being research opportunities. At the Oregon Quad Group, we put research at the center of everything that we do. All of our analysts are consistently engaged in projects throughout their time in the club, always working to push out papers, trading strategies, and stuff of sorts that they are passionate in. Our second impact is education. So education starts from the moment somebody is admitted into our group as a junior analyst. They go through our new member education program, and that will ultimately aim to equip them with the skills necessary to succeed within their role. But beyond that, every single one of our meetings is educational, via little things like macro updates, or like what's going on in the global sphere, financially and geopolitically, all the way over to like actually discussing methodology that quants in industry use so we can make our projects better. Lastly is our diverse student makeup. So at OQG, we accept people from all backgrounds, whether it be math, economics, finance, data science, computer science, physics, any field is totally open to join our club and encouraged to do so. We do not discriminate based on major of any sorts. Interest is the only requirement. So we believe that having students with this diverse background can ultimately bring in new perspectives and better the perspective of the club overall. Now moving on, we have our club visibility. So as I mentioned earlier, we are relatively new. We were founded within the last 2 years. We're kind of in the midst of an early growth phase right now. We had under 10 members at the beginning of the year. We are now up to 27 today. And kind of being a club. Being a club in this early growth phase, we have kind of struggled with recognition. We trail a lot of the other member exclusive groups here on campus in terms of those who apply, signaling that we have not gotten our names out enough yet. And additionally, we also kind of trail in terms of resources that we have compared to some clubs. So that's the current state. But what does the desired state look like? Well, in order for our club to ascend, we believe that's necessary to have more students applying every single term. So number one. Number two is to build partnerships and pipelines with individuals within the industry to essentially create those pipelines that place our students. And overall, our overarching goal is to become a renowned organization here on campus, like some of those other member exclusive groups, that attracts the best talent and places their students within the industry, such as, in our case, fintech and quantitative finance. So how do we get known? Well, we want to highlight our member work publicly. We want to engage with our students, or with UO students as a whole.
We want to collaborate with professionals. We want to provide educational value to all. So how do we do all this? How do we wrap it all into one to maximize our impact? Well, we figured the best way to do this would be to host an end of year banquet for our club that centers on our researchers and the work that they've done throughout the year. So moving into our banquet will be on Wednesday, May 27th. We will have around 60 to 80 people in attendance. It will be open to all students, faculty, and industry professionals. And it will feature presentations from our 4 project groups right now, which will cover research and the results of their projects and ultimately break down all the work that our analysts have put in. Additionally, we plan on having buffet-style food, as well as time for networking afterwards. Our goals for this event are to bring together a community of interested students, faculty, and professionals overall, and to ultimately highlight the high quality work that our members do, and to really put that at the forefront. Lastly, as I touched on earlier, we would like to build our club brand and notoriety, and ultimately ascend to the level of some of those other highly recognized student organizations here on campus. So why do we need extra funding? Well, as a new organization, as one that just became ASUO affiliated earlier in this term, we have relatively small funding capabilities. We have about $1,500 currently to put this event on, which can almost get us, or which can get us most of the way. However, to really make the event what we want it to be and uphold the high standard that UO has, and really be a great image of what UO has to offer and the talent, we believe that we need a little bit more from Senate in order to achieve this, and also for this event to reflect well upon us and build towards that desired state I was talking about. So for our financial breakdown, it looks a little bit different than the form that I sent earlier. With UO Catering, we had an issue. They were not carrying exactly what we wanted. Additionally, we are now expecting like a few more people to come, and we also dropped one of our line items that we were asking. And so ultimately our ask went down from $800 to $530 to put into line item OQG Gala for the end of the year. So how does this benefit UO as a whole? Well, we believe that this event can highlight the high quality of undergraduate research that UO is capable of, or UO and UO students are capable of. And additionally, we want to open this event to students for free, for students to explore their passions, see if they're interested in quantitative finance, and ultimately learn about the industry overall. We believe that this is good. We may, you never know if you attract a freshman and they see it and they don't really know what they want to do, get involved, they take interest in this, and ultimately end up joining the club and potentially pursuing it down the line. That is what we kind of hope to create by doing an event like this and having it open to all students free of charge. With that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you guys very much for listening. I'll now open the floor to questions.
Thank you so much for the breakdown. It was very thorough. It's impressive how much your club has been able to grow in the last 2 years. So congrats to you for facilitating that. We'll start questioning with Senator Henry.
Hi, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for this very detailed presentation. It's really nice. Thank you. I've got a couple questions. First, have you ever collaborated with other clubs in like similar fields as you?
Well, we've kind of, for the most part, no. We have done some. I think we've done some joint ventures with the Oregon Blockchain Group. Not an event like this, but done like a joint meeting because the fields have a little bit of crossover. But ultimately, not really. We haven't really had many collaborations with other clubs or with other clubs on campus. Besides that.
My other question was just to clarify, you guys are no longer requesting for the quarter zips.
Yes, that's okay. That is the line item now.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and make the motion. Also, I do recommend, we've got a lot of big like finance groups to help you guys grow even more, maybe like begin next year, get like collaborations going, so you guys do like a specific subset of a broader topic. I think it could be super fun.
Absolutely.
So I move to authorize spending from surplus to Oregon Quad Club OS 401 in the amount of $530 to new line item name OQG Gala.
Motion made by Heffernan, second by Operation. And I just wanted to highlight something real quick. I know it's your guys' first year being IP funded. This event is open to everyone, which is awesome, but in general, all of your IP funded events do need to be open to the entire school. I don't know if you guys don't know that or not, but I just wanted to put it on the radar just in case you do have closed events. You guys can like fundraise to have your own individual funds and throw those like closed events. But if it is IP funded, it does have to be open to every IP things. Just to then moving forward, Senator Fisher.
Hi, thanks for being here. I wanted to reiterate my support for this, but I also wanted to give you a little bit of a place to brag and talk about all of the cool things that you've done. So can you tell us a little bit about the messaging and marketing that you've done to get so many new members in the year?
Yeah, I mean, well, we've really hit tabling hard. You know, we have like got a very like limited budget, limited capabilities financially. So, you know, just tabling, whether it be in the EMU, whether it be at like club events, whether it be in Lillis, we've hit tabling really hard and managed to garner some interest from that. Additionally, like another thing that I think that we've done really well is just word of mouth, like class visits. We hit, or in this past term, we hit class visits really hard and actually saw like a pretty decent increase in the amount of applicants that we got. So ultimately, those class visits have been pretty effective as well in garnering some interest, especially in some of those like data science classes, some economics classes, finance classes, stuff like that. Like we believe that we've reached a good bit of our target audience. However, not all of it. We've only been able to hit select classes. We are ultimately, at the end of the day, we're a team of 6. And so we can't hit all of the classes. We can't reach every single student. And so our hope is for an event like this, for marketing this event. Our hope is for that to kind of help get the word out there about our club and garner some more interest from more people throughout all majors and occupations at UO.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to say again, I really support this. I think this is a really important group. I know there's a lot of like major specific quant data groups going on. But I think this is really important to have a non-major specific one, just because every single major is involved in quantitative analysis and methods, whether or not you think they are. Poli-sci, like majority of what I do is quant methods, and we don't even have our own quant groups. Like this is a really cool thing that they're doing to help everyone who doesn't have their own department. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Senator Stevenson.
Yeah, on that note, as someone that has absolutely no idea, this is quantitative finance, right?
Yes, this is correct.
Essentially, how is that different from just finance for someone who has no idea?
Yeah, so I'd say like the main difference is finance, or regular finance would be like trying to look, or you'd just be trying to use like you'd be trying to use like information out there. Like if you were to do like equity research, if you were to like dive into like a company, you'd analyze like leadership, you'd analyze like, or you'd see like, okay, where do we think that the industry they sit in is going, and ultimately trying to predict like, okay, should we buy it now or should we sell it? Quant finance is different. We essentially use like a bunch of data, or we read a bunch of literature, existing literature on how different like say like a commodity, say like gold, for example, like how gold could react to like a geopolitical event. Pretty relevant right now, but yeah, so we say like, okay, if there's like a conflict, say like between Russia or Ukraine, like how do we think US gold markets would react based on investor fear? So we do the research, we gather the data, we try to standardize like those, or like that geopolitical event happening, and then ultimately trying to see how gold reacts alongside of that, and then build a machine learning model that can essentially interpret all of that data and execute trades based on it, and based on where it believes that the gold market is going based on that geopolitical event. So be something like that.
That sounds super cool. Thank you for explaining. I yield.
Thank you.
Senator O'Neill?
So what other membership clubs did you say there were that you wanna that, I don't know, that you said there were? Yeah.
Yeah, so like one that we've looked at, and one that's like experienced rapid growth in recent years, and or is OBG. OBG, they started out as like really small. I think they started around like 2017. I think the pandemic almost killed them. They brought it back. They were small for a while, and like especially this year, they've just completely exploded. They have like a lot of applicants, or they have a lot of applicants. They have diverse teams working on different things, whether it be research or venture capital. And all of this is within the scope of blockchain and cryptocurrency. So it's been cool to watch them grow, watch them really garner a lot of interest from students in blockchain and crypto. So I believe like even with that, that one niche like asset class, like there's tons of room for us to grow too, because we do like somewhat similar stuff, not one-to-one, but we do like slightly similar stuff, but we do it across all asset classes. And so we can garner interest from all people who might want to look into like or different asset classes. So I think that we have room there to grow.
And would you mind telling me what OBG stands for?
Oh, sorry. The Oregon Blockchain Group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm just curious, and I don't know if you're gonna address this, but I am curious as to whether or not a group who is membership based is allowed to use IFU funding even for a group that's for an event that's open to all students. So I'll yield to Senator Peters.
I've been checking rules and I am honestly not 100% sure. So just for reference, per ASUO rules, as Clayton was saying, any IFU funded events need to be open to all students. And trying to think of an example of a membership-based student org that is funded through ASUO. Because unfortunately, Oregon blockchain is actually not. We don't fund that.
We also do not have a budget. It's kind of my job to get that done for the 2028 or 2020. Next year's 26, 27. We already can't get that. So it's 27, 28 will be the first year that we have a budget, although we are ASUO recognized right now. So that's where we currently sit.
Yeah, my instinct is that it's okay, but the only membership-based organizations that I can think of are fee-based. So, for example, like English learners pay a fee. Because this is not fee-based, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that because it was approved by EPRs, by the committee that recognizes student org budgets, that it's yeah, but just recommendation is when you're applying for ASUO fund, you do need to have events that are open to all students. You can, for example, like Women in Business, have membership only events and then student wide events. And that's probably going to be the model, even if you just have a couple attorneys, you just ensure that you're.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it should be fun to this event since it is open to all students. But definitely when, like what Senator Peters said, when you're going into your budget hearings next year, make sure you prepare a list of events that you're going to have that are for all students, and then how you're going to keep it super inclusive. Because I think you can definitely have membership based, especially since it's such a specialized thing. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind before budget season, so it's not for on my yield.
Thank you. Senator Smith.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of those applications accept certain people when they do events for all, and we fund them. So, yeah.
And like a lot of these orgs are orgs that have their own ways of making money. Like Align does a lot of fundraising and stuff. So when it's like an event that you are throwing just with your fundraised money, you can have it be more exclusive. But when it's ID funded event, it has to be public. Heffernan. Sorry, for any of it.
Do I need to amend my motion to be from unallocated?
Surplus.
From surplus, okay, then never mind, I yield.
Marion.
Yeah, and I also think it gets complicated for ones like Align because technically the entire membership, like the student impact for journals and magazines is counted in how many are produced and can be distroed to the populations, and also how like if it's posted online, it has the capacity to reach a lot more people than a membership-based group that doesn't have a product like that. But yeah, you.
Senator Peters.
Yeah, I just want to ask, in your budget, do you guys have any wiggle room in case the decor or anything ends up costing more than anything?
Yeah, we have around, I believe, like $100 of legal room, so we believe that that's sufficient. We have mostly everything priced out. We're just waiting on, the last bit to come in so we can get everything.
And then all of your marketing materials are less than $10 each?
All of them are less than $10 each.
Yes, like per item.
Per item. I mean, we do have like a banner. We do want to buy like a banner, so that's around like I think 60. But other than that, everything's
okay. Just the reason I ask is anything that you're going to be giving out to people. If it's over $10, then you need to have the 95 numbers of the people that you're giving it out to. But since it's all less than $10, the things that you're giving out, the banner should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait. Also, you should get the banner ordered as ASAP as soon as you get the money because it'll probably take a second for that to get processed.
Thank you.
Awesome. If we don't have any more questions, we can vote now. And the requested amount is $530. So we'll vote by acclamation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. And the motion's approved. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Again, with all the rules and stuff, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by the Student or Financial Services desk, right outside the ASUO office. They'll help you out with all these types of rules, things like that.
Okay. I did have like one question regarding this. So we are trying to get this done we're trying to have this we're trying to have this happen in week 9. It's currently week 5, so we're trying to get a lot of the stuff ordered. We were kind of waiting on this last bit to come in. Does this need to be allocated towards like any specific item, or is it good to just be spent on this event and so on?
As long as the line items match the general event that you're throwing, it should be fine. Okay. And the line item was called what? Yeah. That'll be fine.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
The money should be there by like Monday.
That's perfect. Sounds great.
And next on the agenda, we have the Asian and Pacific American Student Union. Welcome back, guys.
Hello again. I'm Lincoln, I'm one of the co-directors here.
I'm Ruby, the other co-director.
Well, we first wanted to say we want to express our appreciation for the last for our speaker series that just got done last Friday. We sold out, almost 300.
No, more than.
I'm sorry.
Tickets. Yes.
Sorry, 400 tickets. So it was very much a success. I don't think it could get any more successful. Okay.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And this, but we're here requesting for our night market. So go to the next slide.
Yeah.
All right.
Should I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So night market. No, doesn't mic even work. Oh, sorry. Okay. So night market will be happening in 2 weeks on May 13th from 5 to 8 p.m. on the EME Green outside. And it's one of our biggest events. It's actually the biggest event of ASUO annually. And our estimates point to over 800 attendees last year. It's kind of hard to measure because, it's outside, but we do estimate an attendance of around 800 people. And we're going to have over 20 tablers representing a different culture club on campus. And they're going to have a table around the EME Green. And they're going to have, their own activities showing off what kind of club they are and, recruiting more students to the club. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put the diagram in the other slide showing that. And then, they were still sorry. And then obviously, we're going to have a really big stage.
ready for different performers on campus and off campus to, you know, show off their cultural dances and also just like music as well. And we're gonna offer free food and boba to students who complete their stamp cards where they go around to each table around the Yimmy Green and learn about each club and get a stamp. Yeah.
Yeah, and here are some of our photos again from the Lion Dance, the BSA's fan dance, and just the general attendees, just more pictures. Yes, yeah. Showing how many attendees there were. Then these are like the boba card versus fan cards. You see how you really do have to go and learn about each tabler and what their club is, what their purpose is. Really get to know them in order to get the boba or the free food. So. And then this is the diagram. I mean, if you guys remember from last year, I mean, it's really hard to miss, but at least when you're going to class. Yeah, so you can see how the tablers are on the perimeter, and then the main stage faces the east, where we'll have a run-up show, etc.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then in the middle is like a big canopy. We're gonna have just like picnic blankets on the ground so anyone can sit down and watch the performances like right in front of the stage. And last year we had 21 tables, but this year we added 2 more tables, so we're gonna have 23. Yeah, next slide.
Oh, then this is our graphic.
Our flyer for this year.
Oh yeah, so then this is more specific, but we'll be giving away 600 boba drinks from Boba Head and 600 corn dogs from Cluck and Dog. We'll also be hosting henna, which Taco will be providing. We have caricature drawings and selling our own merchandise. Again, attendees will be given a stamp card.
And then this is our run-up show of all the different performers. So DJ Kanyu is a student on campus who DJs, you know, on his own time, but we also had him last year as well, and he's actually a really good DJ. So we're gonna start off the event with his DJing, and then we'll have K-Air, which is another club on campus, and a Hero Daiko as well, which is the Japanese drumming club, and then the Chinese Student Association, Taiwanese Student Association, and the Vietnamese Student Association are all going to present their own fan dances, which is super cool. And then Cultura Filipinas will also present their own cultural dance. And then we're gonna have a local student band named 10 or 11 Deer perform as well. Yes, and then we'll have a local nonprofit lion dance group, Feline Lion Dance, perform as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then these are our potential sponsorships here. I mean, at least DEI is confirmed, everything else is confirmed, just waiting on to order it. So yeah, look out for those.
Yeah, these are all the raffle prizes we're giving out, and to win it, you have to complete the stand card as well. So we like draw it out of a bag. Yeah, so this is a breakdown of our costs. So booking the EMU greeting will come to around $8,000, and catering will be also $8,000. And just decorations in general will also cost $500. And then our last event of the year for ASUO is called June's Bloom, which is a senior send-off event. And the cost for that is estimated to be about $2,500 for the catering and stoles we make for the graduating students who we celebrate. And so the total cost for our events for the rest of the year come up to around $19,000. And currently in our event speakers relations line item, we have just around $15,000. So we're requesting a surplus of $4,000. Thank you. Let us know if you have any.
Thank you all so much for bringing this to us. I know, speaking for me personally, these are the events I love to run. I love that you guys are collaborating with the board. I love that it's on the EMU Green, so just really cool that. And the stamp cards are a good idea, so I love that. Moving into deliberation, we'll start with Senator Stevenson.
I might have skipped a senator, but I'm very happy to be here. I'm gonna make the motion. You guys are very active in the community. I move to authorize spending from surplus to Group Asian and Pacific American Student Union, OS number OS011I, in the amount of $4,000 to existing line item name events/speakers/relations.
Motion made by Stevenson, seconded by Perez, moving to Purdue.
Hi, thank you for being here. I was gonna make the motion, but I just wanted to advocate my support for this. I went last year and it was incredibly fun and it was super well organized. So yeah, I think this is a really great event. I did have a question. What are the 2 new tables? I think.
Well, last last year, the Korean Student Association.
We haven't really compared who tabled and who didn't. We just know we had.
Yeah, we added Korean Student Association
Yeah,
and
and the Thai Student Association, I believe,
So-
yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm very excited for this upcoming night market. So yeah. Thank you.
But also just for the future, if I do or we do skip you on the speakers list, yell out a point of order and we'll you don't have to be recognized a point of order. Okay. That's the procedure. Senator Pink.
Hi, thanks for coming in. I noticed on the diagram, I saw HKSA. Are they back or was that an old diagram?
No, that's just from years ago. That's just what we give. That's just what we give.
See them in. Okay, yeah. And also, what flavors of boba are you guys gonna get?
Oh god, the classic, white tea, the Thai, the jasmine, and something else. Maybe
Yeah.
5 flavors.
Yeah, fruity and milk tea.
Yes.
Hey, nice. Well, I've definitely gone every year. It's a great event, a classic event. I feel like we've all at least seen it. So I definitely a great thing. There you go.
And that concludes the list. Do we have any more questions? Go to vote. We gotta vote by roll call, starting with Perez, Peters.
Aye.
Fisher. O'Neill.
Aye.
Taylor. Smith.
Aye.
Broussard.
Aye.
Opperhead.
Aye.
Heffernan.
Aye.
Amodife. Jenkins Hiscox. Chisholm.
Aye.
Stevenson.
Aye.
Purdue.
Aye.
Smith. Bailey.
Aye.
Morel. Madariaga.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. Congratulations, guys.
Hope to see you all there.
Sure. That concludes financial business for the night. I want to bring you all a resolution, but there hasn't been a working group formed for it. So I will be asking if anyone wants to make a motion to suspend rule 10.5 that states that we have to make a working group to pass resolutions.
.5. I move to suspend Senate Rule 10.5.
Second Stevenson.
Motion made by Heffernan, seconded by Stevenson. I have to do a roll call vote for it. Perez, Peters.
Aye.
Fisher. O'Neill. Taylor. Smith.
Aye.
Broussard.
Aye.
Offerhead. Heffernan.
Aye.
Amodife. Jenkins Hiscox. Chisholm.
Aye.
Stevenson. Purdue. Bailey.
Aye.
Morel. Madariaga. Fisher. Westbury. Ludeman. And I say aye.
Oh, Quadrian, I've been skipped.
My apologies, Senator Smith.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Quadrian.
And then I will read the resolution. Well, I guess I'll get background on it first. Basically, we've been doing work with Matt and Amaya to rebuild the Oregon Student Association. We got to connect with USSA while we were in DC. We initially went to be a part of the Big Ten Alliance conference with all the other Big Ten schools. And basically, like our priorities just really didn't match while we were there. And so we kind of were looking for another avenue to build a coalition with while we were lobbying. And we ran into USSA. We attended a rally in front of the Capitol building, and we felt like they were more willing to like shake things up, be a little bit more bold in their advocacy, and match our priorities a lot more. And they've also been helping us with communicating with the other schools in the region free of charge. Like this wouldn't require any dues. They've given us a staffer to work with all the Oregon schools, basically just getting us all in one room and trying to help us plan events that help us collaborate and just talk, because that's really been the hardest part of building the coalition. It's just getting all the schools on the same page and having all the schools understand this isn't like Oregon trying to create a group that we run, that we boss other schools around with, but truly show all the other schools that we want to collaborate and build a true coalition. And they've really been helpful in that. And this resolution is basically the official way that as a school we join USSA. So like attending their conferences, when we go to DC, they'll help us book meetings with legislators, something that I did all on our own this year, which was an amazing trip, but if we could have had that help, we probably could have even done more advocacy while we're in DC. So really just having the support to help us do what we're already doing. And yeah, I'll read the resolution. I will say this is a template resolution for joining USSA, but I'll still read it. Whereas the United States Student Association is the nation's oldest and largest student-led organization representing college and university students across the country and working to build a strong, unified national student movement. And whereas USSA is committed to advancing a vision of higher education as a fundamental right, including the pursuit of free and accessible education for all and protecting institutions of higher education from political, economic, and social attacks. And whereas the USSA centers values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice, and is dedicated to ensuring that student power and student voice are at the forefront of federal decision-making impacting higher education and student life. And whereas USSA serves as a collective national voice for students to the White House, the U.S. Department of Education, and Congress, while also representing the interests of students within the global student movement. And whereas building a strong national movement requires participation from campus, statewide, and system-wide student associations working in solidarity to address shared challenges, advance collective goals, and whereas student leadership development and political education are essential to sustaining a powerful student movement, and USSA provides training, conferences, and workshops to equip student leaders with the skills necessary to organize and advocate effectively. Therefore, let it be resolved by effective immediately by the Associated Students of the University of Oregon Senate in collaboration with the ASU Executive Branch, acting under the authority of the ASU Constitution, that the Associated Students of the University of Oregon, ASUO, formally joins the United States Student Association as a leading member organization. Be it further resolved, the ASUO commits to advancing USSA's mission to make higher education a right, defend, protect, and fix higher education institutions, and advocate for policies that promote affordability, access, and student success. And be it further resolved that ASU affirms its commitment to the values of diversity, equity, inclusion, student power, and the elevation of student voices in all issues impacting higher education, student life. And be it further resolved that ASU commits to actively developing student leadership by participating in USSA trainings, conferences, and workshops, and by cultivating new generations of student leaders on our campus and within our community. And be it further resolved that ASU commits to actively participating as leaders in shaping the direction, structure, and strategic planning of USSA, ensuring that member voices guide the organization's priority, leadership, and future. Be it further resolved that ASUO commits to engaging in national, statewide, and local organizing efforts in solidarity with other student associations, recognizing that strong statewide organizations are essential to building a powerful national student movement. And be it further resolved that ASUO commits to mutual respect, collaboration, and collective action with student organizations across the country in pursuit of shared goals. And be it further resolved that ASUO will remain actively engaged in responding to, defending against, and organizing to resist attacks on higher education, including threats to access, affordability, academic freedom, and student rights. And be it finally resolved that ASUO will serve as an active member of USSA, contributing to the collective work of building a unified, powerful, and representative national student movement. And pretend I made that the motion.
Second Peters.
Motion made by Gill, seconded by Peters. Motion's on the floor. Now have a discussion, starting with Senator O'Gill.
So is this, you said something about OSA, is this instead of OSA?
Basically, when we were gonna start the contract for OSA, we had a meeting with the director of USSA and all the other schools in Oregon, their student associations and I last week in Max. And basically, she advised that starting an organization is not really the important part of like rebuilding the student organizing movement statewide, that there's a lot of organizing work that needs to be done beforehand to actually build the coalition. Because if you just build founding documents and a contract organization, you then have like a hollow shell that doesn't represent anything. And she just advised that this would be the better first, like this wouldn't be a better first step, but she just wants to help us in rebuilding OSA. And this is just our way of showing respect for the work they've already committed to do by joining their organization. Because even if we don't join this, they'll still help us build OSA.
And what other schools are in USSA?
In Oregon, as far as I know, it's just Portland State right now, but I imagine because of the conversations we've been having with Tiffany, the director of USSA, they'll all be joining soon.
Okay, you.
Questions? Starting with Perez. Peters.
Aye.
O'Neill.
Aye.
Taylor. Smith. Broussard.
Aye.
Hopperday. Heffernan. Amadiefe. Jake Tiscox. Chisholm.
Aye.
Stevenson.
Aye.
Purdue. Smith.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye.
Morel. Daryaga.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. Thank you all so much. And we will move into finance committee updates, starting with PFC Chair Senator Peters.
Before we do that, I just want to double check about the BMA transfer. My understanding is that anything that is 10% of your budget or more than $1,000 has to go through Senate. Molly, do you know what rules about transfers have to go through Senate?
I thought it was. It's not about.
I thought it was Senator Stevenson.
For added context, when I had made the transfer request, I also assumed that it was over 10%. Zach, who's also in PFC, assured me that that is not the case, and that as long as Jack, either or, assured me that as long as it's within programming, it doesn't matter. And so if that's not the case, then okay. But that's what SOFS told my president and myself yesterday, that as long as it's within programming.
I trust Jack.
So we had to pull up for just the admin line item.
Okay. That's. Okay. I trust Jack then, and worst case, we can do it.
So you're just going from programming to programming?
The rest of the transfers, yeah.
Yeah, all of the $2,900 is essentially all within programming. It is, so. He was like, you could just email it to me, and we did, and our line item changed, so.
You have an updated ledger with the,
That's what the president showed me earlier today.
okay, then we'll, sounds good.
Well, Soft sent me the ledgers for today's meeting, like, I'm pretty sure it was Jack, like, kind of late today, so I'm sure whatever's in there
Okay.
will be accurate.
Cool, I just wanted to double.
So can you send teams with like updates? It's just the event expenses and admin, which had $250. That was the one thing we couldn't transfer out via just interacting with SOFS, is what we were told yesterday, so.
And I think when we change the rules, where if you're transferring, the rules never change about transferring from admin to program. They pretty sure any admin to program transfer, even if it's like a single dollar, has to come to Senate. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check on that. In regards to the committees, PFC is chugging along with our end of year stuff, having a great time and working on some plans in case our boards can reach out to us. If you know anyone in the student org and they have received an email from their tag officer and they haven't replied, you should tell them to. Because we are lacking a little bit in the student board replying for end of year forms. And then over Realize, as you guys know, we reviewed everything last week. So we should start having some people come present to us before Senate asking for the approval of over realized funds. So when they come present to us, I'll obviously send y'all the information about those things. And then last thing is if you're signed up to volunteer for powwow, the volunteer training was tonight at 6:00. So I will just send me a Teams and I'll send you the sign up for where you're gonna sign up. As always, if you're a student worker, I want you in a specific place. So tell me if you're a student worker and you didn't make it to the training.
And if being a student worker, it's mostly so we can like handle money and stuff.
Yes.
But if we're a student worker, that doesn't.
You just have to be a student worker, but you can't, ASUO doesn't count.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're a student worker, it's just, but.
I do research, so technically that's.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as as long as you use UKG to clock in,
for the university, and you get a paycheck from the university accounts.
It's liability stuff.
It's liability stuff. So.
Oh, I also do. It's just shocking that we qualify to touch money.
Yeah, so, we need you guys on Saturday. Yeah, and it's not too late to sign up to volunteer for Palo. I designed the shirt, so I'm sure you all want a free, beautiful shirt. Yeah, and always reach out to me if you have any questions about powwow, about luau, or student org stuff, or over stuff.
Contracts Finance Committee Vice Chair, Senator Taylor.
Hi, y'all. Not too much today. We've been making good progress in the RFP. We'll be hearing presentations from our bidders next week. As well, on the OSA note, we'll be hearing from the USAA rep. USSA rep in the coming weeks as well. And we're still working on a home for the legal service fund.
Finance Committee Chair, Senator Opperman.
Hey guys, so we had a meeting last week, but I was not able to attend. I was in LA for a conference, so I'm gonna yield to Vice Chair Shepperton to talk about our meeting.
Our meeting was super fun. All we really did was discuss all of the bylaw changes we want to make. We're making some pretty great progress in terms of libraries becoming a department. We just have to go through Angela Chong, and we will be meeting again, at least confirmed at the end of next week, next Friday at 3:45 p.m. We are inviting, I've not heard back yet, but we are inviting Denora Ortiz of the MCC to talk to us. In light of everything going on with Juana, we would like to have a conversation with her. If anyone else wants to ask questions, feel free to come.
I would actually encourage you to go. Like it should be interesting, and I also think like most people have a lot of questions about what's happening to the student workers there, as well as to all the students with their free speech. Yeah.
If you can't make it, you can also submit questions to DFC. If there is a large amount of people who want to go, Senator Madariaga.
Sorry, when did you say it wasn't gonna be?
Friday, 3:45 p.m. Lightning Room, not this Friday, next Friday.
That concludes Finance Committee updates. Moving to Senate Executive updates. We'll start with Academic Chair Stevenson.
Yeah, like before I start on that note, Vic, someone who worked in the MCC for a really long time, at the union meeting yesterday informed everyone that there's essentially 100% turnover at the MCC. Just like those of you who didn't, that they were told essentially that they're not going to be hired on for next year. So please come, please yielding to Senator Hoffman.
Yeah, it is. So it's kind of an interesting contract thing where within the contract, student positions end at the end of the academic year. So June 19th, all student positions end. However, a lot of jobs don't really use this like non-reappointment article. It's really only used in what I think is like honestly a very like punitive way against departments that are usually extremely well organized. So libraries and dining are the only two departments that they really use this in. Most they allow students to just continue working the next year. So for them to implement this year, when last year that didn't happen, even though the contract was in place, everyone was reappointed. They've decided to like basically weaponize the contract and use it in a way that is pretty much a direct result of like the huge amount of organizing the students have done. But yeah, I'm also happy to talk to anyone about this. No one about it, so I yield.
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is a department that we fund with the IP that's hired us.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. It is our money.
I was just gonna ask, have you like 100% confirmed that Denora is gonna be there?
No.
She hasn't responded yet.
Okay, I'm gonna warn you now that she probably actually won't be able to be there because it is powwow, and so she is helping us out with that stuff. So I'm gonna take, she might be able to be there, but if it's next Friday, she might be doing setup.
Okay. We'll message the team, so we'll keep you guys updated. We'll figure something out.
In an attempt, Chase, someone who is an exec, and myself were going to go to the BCC, and one of the staffers informed me that he will probably not be hired on next year because he signed the letter, and I feel like I failed him and the other staff members that are being like, no, it's just while we have autonomy and while we can do stuff, like we could try. Yeah, there's a a suicide prevention walk, clean transition, suicide prevention walk on Saturday. 2 people have excused absences. If you are aware that it is happening and you haven't reached out to me, I need you to pull up, please. Senator Madariaga went to exec on my behalf. Do you have any updates for us or not? Take your time.
Not to be honest, not really. We have some notes. We had the same presentation for Concord, so we already got that. There was some stuff about the Swana Center, but you guys just talked about that. No.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, AC meets Wednesdays at 1 next week in the BCC. I hope to see whoever wants to come there. Outside of AC, everyone in AC is required to go, LOL. Yeah, I yield.
Not to pile on, but I also just wanted to say something too with like, it is a blatant attack on free speech to like fire people without, like, for just filling out a form. And it really is their tactic, like that guilt that you're feeling is their goal to like ruin solidarity and ruin this feeling of collective action by making people think like, should I not have done this? Should I not have like stood up? And it's gross. And so keep advocating, keep doing what we're doing. And a lot of this starts with like the work that other students are doing, but us supporting students is a really big deal. Even things like the Kevin Reed forum that we have, and just like showing out and showing up to these events and like these walk-ins and these letter deliveries, like it really does mean a lot. So, Senator Stevenson.
I was going to say, speaking of Kevin Reed, Faculty Senate happened today, and they passed the Latin and Cultural Center unanimously. Love ending on a positive note. I yield now.
In that meeting, they were bragging about the ICE notifications too. Like Chris Long is like talking about how he's so proud that they've been so prompt in developing the system and all this stuff, and like telling all the back members like we're ahead of the curve and trying to do these things. When really it's like a lot of our advocacy and executive advocacy that even made that law happen, and the only reason they're even doing this. And like they sat here for hours telling us that this wasn't possible. And literally we showed up to a meeting and they're like, we're rolling this out in a week's time notice. Like it was actually super easy. Like it just shows that these things that we advocate for are possible and they can happen, but they want us to think that we're crazy. Like after that meeting, Priscilla and I were told that we're like endangering the lives of students by engaging this advocacy. And then to see them now brag about it. All right, sorry. Going further in the update, Ombudsperson number 2.
Can we include that, like, that wide sigh in the meeting minutes?
But shame
Hey guys, as we all know, a lot of our tenure as senators are wrapping up, which means it's time for transitions. Erin has taken the liberty of making all of you this lovely committee transition guide. Thank you, Erin. General rule is everything that you wish you had known at the start of your position, put it in there. Y'all, I think we can all remember that kind of rocky start, and as much as we can do to avoid that would be great. I need all y'all to look at me right now. Transition documents, at least proof of life of them, must be given to me by May 6th, 1 week from today. Okay? Thank you. Yes?
Basics or Senate or like?
You can do it during Senate. No, you can't. You can May 5th, 11:59 p.m. Yeah, because then also academic committee, it's outlined in the transition guide as well, in case you need reminders or like to refer back to this. I will be sending this immediately after I stop talking. Academic committee, I need all of you guys to arrange to have one-on-one meetings with the person who will be taking your seat. You can begin doing that as soon as I have like transition documents. Since your guys' positions are pretty like tied to your seat, unlike finance, I would like you guys to do that transfer. I will be reaching out to the newly elected person 1 week prior to their first Senate, May 27th, to make sure that you guys have done this. And finance committees, you have the option to do one-on-ones, depending on how you guys do your tag transfers. I know like it's gotta be more complicated for PSC than it is over here. And yeah, Erin, do you want to go briefly over what is in this guide that you made?
Yeah, I'll go over briefly just how we're doing the transitions this year because previously we've done them where everyone just has one individually for whoever is the incoming senator. That usually leaves a lot of people without any transition documents. So what we're doing is we're having each committee do a committee-wide document. There's a bunch of prompts of all the information that you should include. We also have some beautiful examples of how you can format them with like fun tabs to navigate and a lot of information. This is the one that Olivia has started for this year.
It's an outline. Don't think too deep into it, guys.
Cute emojis. Anyway, so that's essentially the vibe is to have hopefully the committee chairs can kind of lead that for their committee, and then you can like delegate sections and work on that together to make sure you're kind of getting like a holistic view of that committee for the members. And then each legislative member will also need to write an individual document. This can be like less formal and maybe a little bit more like advice based. Maybe it's just some personal things that you want to pass on as knowledge to that person. Yeah, essentially like Olivia said, these are guiding questions. If you think that there's things that are missing that you would like to include, please include them. I think that having documents like this, while overwhelming with a lot of information, is a great reference point for these senators because they're going to get thrown all this information and then maybe a month later they're going to be like, oh, like what are our bylaws? What is that? And then they can go back and they can look at this. So really take your time to think about those things and think about what you wish you had known when you walked into this role and maybe things that you wish you were told to make that transition easier because it's definitely not intuitive. Any questions here? Okay, I will throw this in the all legislative chat as well. And then if people just make sure that that is part of your next community.
So just clarify the transition document, like the individual letter things, just like Erin said, do not have to be as thorough as the docs that are linked in there. Those are committee wide. So like your individual one to the person that will be taking over your seat does not need to be nearly as formal because they will also be receiving that big document.
I also, if someone wants to see examples of what that looks like, I have a bunch of examples from the academic because we did this exact format for it.
I know all this seems like busy work, but even just from my position, taking over and having none of these documents, it just adds so much work and Senate runs so much smoother in the future if we do have these documents. Just please take the time to do them, especially the letter to your predecessor. I think just adding context for things that were hard for you this year is very important. Is that it for Abdomen first? Senator Perch. Yeah, Treasurer Perez.
Hey guys, after got paid, any issues, let me know, of course. My favorite topic, graduation souls. So I have a little hiccup with SOV. We finally got over a couple of humps, so we should be having them. I'm gonna try to order it tomorrow. I'm gonna talk to Ken, so they should be doing it about like 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. So, but right in time for the graduation, I just want to give you a heads up in case you're going to take grad pics or something. Just keep you guys updated on that. And rules committee, doing that. Um, for like, I want to do like another Senate dinner, like hour-long Senate, like hour, not like the new people. So, if you have any recommendations, again, just text me, team me, and then I'll probably put in a surplus request, and then hopefully make it for next week's Senate, and then like here next week.
Oh.
Like here next week, here the request, and that should give us like time, and then yeah, I don't want to be the one to like sign me, so please message me. Yeah, all I had for you.
And for context, your rule committee at the end of each year is supposed to do a evaluation of all the Senate rules and make a complete like overhaul recommendation based on things that work and don't work. So we will be submitting that to you guys. I'll probably put it in the chat a whole week before Senate so you guys can actually look through it because it'll be very wordy and not fun to read. But if any of you guys have Senate rules that you think should exist or whatnot, send them to me and this committee will consider them.
I really don't have any updates. I wasn't here last week, but shout out to everyone that came to our dinner at the Longhouse. It was so fun. There was so much food and everyone brought Tupperware to take home. If that's not incentive to come to the next one, I guess we're doing it at Senate. So I guess just come to your room. I go.
All right, and then we officially have 2 more meetings of just our Senate for the joint Senate meeting in the Redwood or Greater Lake.
That's like
I know, I'm getting very sentimental. But we also have the over-realized request, the over-realized committee approved, and I've been making contact with the people that have gotten the request approved and scheduling them for the next 2 weeks and that 3rd week. If necessary, I'm gonna try to make that meeting, that's a joint meeting, much more lax, so it can be much more like informative with you senators, but there might be some financial business we have to cover. But the over-realized request will come in, I'll be meeting with each person that's gonna present. Please take the time to look over the forms before the meeting and you'll see them on the agenda.
Do you want me to send?
You send all the, you just send them all out, the approved and denied ones, because there's a chance that denied people might want to get on.
Okay, cool. It'll take a sec because the SGS has to reject the info.
Okay. That
That's really cool way to do.
No, they have me do that too.
We haven't really gotten like a successful group photo. Do we want to do that at like our last Senate meeting in the Redwoods?
Yes.
Are people down with that? Okay. Reach out to
We'll see. That's it, I believe. We're getting into the executive branch update with VP Jensen.
Hi, another reminder, next week is street fair and they're looking for so many volunteers. There's training tomorrow, that's at 6 p.m. in Lillis 111. There'll be pizza and you'll get free shirts and all that stuff. But the sign up is in the chat. Please to fill that out. Is it mandatory? It is mandatory.
And count.
Yes. Anyways, the other things, so the student advocacy group, department of ASUO, have been working on a basic needs gala for the last few months. They've got this scheduled for May 22nd. It's going to be at the Portland campus at 6:30. And they are trying to get as many people to go to this as possible. Tickets are like $30. And this is the student government trying to basically show administration that we can get people to try and fund the things that we think need to be funded. This is like, yeah. Anyways, if you have any time, money, whatever to put towards this, if you have rich relatives, otherwise, please, especially if they live in Portland, I'll be putting in a link in the chat to sign up or get tickets or whatever. Anyways, that was not well for me. Sorry about my next is May Day is this Friday. The walkout starts at 2:30 and the rally goes for probably like an hour and a half after that. There's going to be teach-in and vigil as well. So it's sort of a whole afternoon of activities. Please do come by. The executive is paying for like $700 worth of pizza, so we'll be fed. And this is another thing again where the university administration has been pushing back on a lot of things, and we're trying to actually get those through student pressure. So please do show up 2:30 this Friday. Skip class if you haven't. And then the last thing is the Latinx Coalition is holding a rally next week, Wednesday at 4 o'clock on May the 6th in the EMU Amphitheater to pressure the university into supporting the Latinx or Latina center, cultural center. What is that? This is, I think, going to be very, very important, and it needs your support. Please do show up. Students are really actively organizing on this right now. So yeah, and that's all for me.
If if they support the resolution, when's next week? What's the next?
As I understand it, the Senate supporting a resolution similar to us doing a resolution, it's non-binding. So that's just part of the public pressure being put by different stakeholders of the university on the administration to take action. So this is another step of putting that public pressure. We have official support from official bodies representing parts of campus. This is direct student support for this project. And again, it's hopefully going to be an escalation from official means.
So the faculty supports.
Well, it's a piece of the puzzle.
Gotcha. Okay, I just thought that meant more. Thank you.
It does seem like the U administration puts a lot more stake in the faculty senate resolutions though than our resolutions. Like when we were trying to get the appeals board resolution passed, like Jimmy Howard and all the people showed up and were advocating strongly. Like clearly they feel like when those resolutions are passed, it adds a level of legitimacy to the
More questions or updates?
And approval of the minutes. Senator Fisher.
I move to approve the minutes from April 22nd.
Second Peters.
Motion made by Fisher, seconded by Peters. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. And the motion is approved. Motion to adjourn, Senator Stevenson.
I move to adjourn.
Motion made by Stevenson, seconded by Peters. Those in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. We are now on the floor.
Ma'am. Robin.
Cool.